Hello there, good morning, and you're watching QTV this morning. It's good to be back, and I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Ibrahim Balde.
Janawa, thank you very much. It's good to be here again. It's another week, a new week, Janawa.
Yeah.
And we are wishing all our Christian friends a happy holiday.
Yep.
And we are wishing them to witness many, many more. And we are back again on the This Morning program.
Yeah.
What do we have this morning?
Yeah, so it's a public holiday today, and we know you're all at home relaxing, you know, and we're bringing you an exciting and memorable morning today. So we just want to make sure that as you're at home sitting and having your breakfast, you're watching us and we're entertaining
Absolutely.
you. You know, that's the whole goal.
Definitely.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
Yes, I had a great weekend.
Okay.
I spent my whole weekend at home with the family. Although on Saturday I visited a friend in Busumbala, of the Point newspaper, a colleague. Okay. You know. Yeah. So I was there the whole day. Then on Sunday I was at home with the family. You know, I like spending my weekend with my family.
It's good.
You know, most people were asking me, "Are you going to work today?" I mean, it's public holiday.
Yeah.
I told them, journalists, media people don't
like
have
public
holiday
for us, you guys. I had a good weekend as well. I had a long weekend, Ibrahim. I took a day off from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and here I am on Monday. The energy is there now.
Yes.
I rested well, and I felt like I needed it. So to all of you out there, if you're walking, just make sure to take a break sometimes. You need it. You don't need to overwork yourself.
Definitely.
If you feel like you've reached a point where you are tired and you can't move anymore, take some rest and just relax.
You know, at some point, you have to relax your brain, otherwise things will be saturated.
And you're not going to even perform well.
Yes. So you need at least, you know, a day or so to relax and get back to track.
Yes, so we'll just give you a rundown of the activities that we have for you today. But just to give you a heads up before that, it doesn't mean that the manner in which I'll be giving you what we have today, it will be coming that way. We might have changes here and there, so please expect that. So we'll start with the motivational quote, my favorite part of this particular program. We'll have a sports update, Babakar with Gina Bass and Ibrahim Kamara, as well as social issues. We'll be talking about curbing the drug menace, and we will be joined by the Drug Law Enforcement Agency. And our community watch today, which we'll be starting with today, has to do with Free Eye Care for the Association of Gambian Women in Mining. We will be joined by a representative here to take us through this particular kind gesture. And also we have the entertainment update. We'll be joined by Skengman Sweezy. So we'll head right on to our motivational quote. What do we have today?
Yes, Janaba, our favorite part, the motivational quote. The one we have today is from Kobe Bryant, and it reads, everything negative, pressure, challenges are an opportunity for me to rise.
Okay.
You know?
It entails a lot of things, you know. So what does this mean to you? Everything negative, pressure, challenges are an opportunity, and we all, anyway, may his soul continue to rest in peace. Kobe, he's been such a huge inspiration to a lot of young aspiring basketball players.
Exactly.
So,
Jenna, when you look at this code, I mean, it's kind of connected to the last week one.
Yeah.
Last week, you know, people, it has to do with people telling you you cannot make it, you know, but getting out of your comfort zone to go and get what you wanted. You know, and this one, if you look at it, it's almost connected. This code is telling you challenges, negative, pressure. This makes you strong.
Sure.
You understand? Without challenges, you'll not know how easy it is. You understand? Without difficulties, you will not know easy. You understand? So it's important for you to feel pressure sometimes. When you live your life, the whole of your lifespan without facing any challenges, I don't think that's it.
And also, what I always say is that when you are an individual and walking towards what you want, if you do not face any negativity or toxicity or pressure or challenges, you're not going to get where you want to get, and you do not have a story to share. You only have a story if you've been through some negative issues or pressure or challenges. That is the story that you can tell. That is the story that you can share.
Yes.
And without that, you can't serve as an inspiration to anybody.
Jenaba, successful people have challenges.
Sure.
You understand?
Yeah.
If you look at the stories of people like Muhammad, I like using Muhammad because he's the one that we talk to all the time. All the time he's here, his stories. Can you imagine? Muhammad, as of today, there was a time even to get fares was a problem for him to go home from Quantum, Banjul to his house. You understand? So these are all challenges that keeps him strong, keeps him going, and now.
And Ibrahim, these challenges are even things that we can bring down to the grassroots level and take ourselves as an example. I had a lot of challenges. I still have a lot of challenges to get where I want to be. When I talk to young people whom I mentor, I tell them, I mean, you guys want to be like Jainaba, but let me tell you, Jainaba is going through a lot to actually be a better person, to get where I want to get. So if you do not go through these things, be rest assured that you're not in the right path. You have to go through these things, and you have to overcome them to be able to get where you want to be. So like we always say, never feel like you're not beautiful, never feel like you're not handsome or bold or good enough. Just know you're good enough, but it just has to take little steps for you to get where you want to get.
The reason why people want to be Jainaba because they don't realize what Jainaba is going through.
You can't tell them.
Jainaba is strong. You understand? You don't allow your challenges to break you.
You shouldn't.
You should not be victimized. I mean, you should not allow that. So most people, they have an emotional attachment to certain comments, to certain things that are going on around them. Their lives.
But mind you, Ibrahima, it's okay to cry. You know, sometimes you have to cry. You have to, if you need to lock yourself in a room and cry about something and come back strong, it's okay.
You need to
There's
cry
nothing,
out.
Cry it out.
It's,
like,
it's
let it go.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's very important.
It's only in our society that
when you cry, you're weak.
People will tell you, no, bull joy.
So joy, and you get that is the wrong advice, you guys. You need to cry.
Sometimes you need to get in your room, lock the room, and cry.
Let it out.
Cry like Edu.
You know, when we say motivational quote is our favorite segment, now I agree. It seems we are spending a lot of time on this, but it is very important. So just to remind you that our motivational quote of today is, everything negative, pressure, challenges are an opportunity for me to rise. So we will take a short commercial break. When we come back, we will head right on to our community watch segment, where we'll be dealing with free eye care for Association of Gambian Women in Mining. Do stay tuned.
One nation, 8 tribes. We are the smiling coast of Africa. Gap-toothed, wide smile, rich melanin skin, radiant with the colors of a rich tapestry of cultures, telling one story of unity and beauty. Wrapped in the soft folds of a mother's sir, a Khalifa's grambuba, we embody the past of our ancestors and the promise of our descendants. Follow the records of our history, this story that tells of a people watered by the river in the gleaming sun of a coastal nation. Listen to the folk tales, those old tales we grew up on. Lebon, Lupain, Amon Nafi, Danaam. Hear the music of an entire nation in the language of its heart and mother tongue. Our tongues are heavy with the song of our people. Rich and thick it rolls off like Domoda, soft like Yasa, Bena Chinla, Nyokomom. Feel the beat of our pounding feet as we dance to the sounds of a throbbing drum, ageless in its rhythm. The griot's kora that speaks the wisdom of the ages. The sweet sound of a mother's lullaby bringing even sweeter sleep. We clap a melody with young and old hands, a symphony full of the pleasures of life, the joys of work and home. We are Gambian. Bi sunyu chosanla, sunyu dika, sunyu boss.
Step into the future of television with sleek and slim design Samsung Smart TVs, ranging in size from 32 to 75 inches and in different technology. Smart LED, Crystal UHD, Ultra High Definition, and QLED Quantum Dot LED. Get new ways of interacting with your TV as our TVs offer an unparalleled vision adventure from the comfort of your living room. Ultra Viewing Angle, powerful picture quality, web browser, gallery, EarthNet LAN, wireless LAN built-in, Bluetooth, screen mirroring technology, mobile on TV mirroring, built-in voice assistance, Wi-Fi direct. Not only that, our TVs are backed with 12 months warranty and we are currently on a promotion. Contact us on 333-3217.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short break. Like I mentioned before we went for the break, we'll be taking a look at our Community Watch segment. And just to remind you that you're watching QTV's This Morning program. I know it's a public holiday today, so we're just giving you a chance to sit back, relax, and give us the opportunity to entertain and educate you today. And I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Ibrahim Abalde. And right now we're joined by Babunjai, and Babunjai is from Imam Buhari Center. And this particular donation is in collaboration with Guimam Eye Care Association, where they've provided free eye care for Association of Gambian Women in Mining. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Njai.
Thank you very much, Jainab.
Okay, so Mr. Njai, take us through this motivation. How did this motivation come about? I know there are particular challenges faced by those involved in the mining sector, putting a strain on their eyes, so it's important that they get to benefit from such support. But before we even get into this particular support, let's take a look at the video from this particular service that you've provided to the Association of Gambian Women in Mining. And when we come back, you will take us through the motivation and other things that the organization is into. Do stay tuned.
Okay.
The Association of Gambian Women in Mining aims to bring together women working in the mining sector and serve as an advocacy group to address some of the challenges facing women in the industry. Fatoumata Sose Jallo, the association's president, said the women who work at the block quarry are hardworking. She said the association was formed to empower women in the mining sector by protecting and helping them with the necessary equipment to enhance their work. She thanked the two donor partners for choosing to help women in mining. Omar C., a member of Guimam Eye Care Association, explains the eye treatment process.
What we do is we go out to meet people in their workplaces in very difficult environments, hard to reach areas, offer free eye services. Those who cannot be treated on spot will be referred to the regional center in Kanifing.
Sunkari Baji, the National Assembly member for Fonyi Berefet, could not be happier.
Imagine how expensive health is. And then you sacrifice everything to come to the doorstep of my constituency to offer them very, very valuable health services. This is indeed recommended and is a big gesture.
Per Mendy of Guimam Eye Care Association said they have discovered so many eye defects with the women they treated and appeals to people to help these women.
And I look at the big stones that maybe women are the ones who are taking care, breaking those stones. Imagine you are breaking the stones. I know they don't even use glasses, do they? Where are the money associations? Do they wear any protective glass? No. Can you imagine when a woman is doing that and the stones and all small pebbles are getting into their eye? They have a lot of problems. I think we need to do something for them. Not only the Guiman, not only the Imam Buhari, not only the Imani Association, but I think the nation, as a nation, government, people who can do it, they can help them so that they can be able to get their livelihood and also continue to enjoy their vision.
Babunjai, the PRO of Imam Buhari Center for Islamic Studies, says digging stones is a male-dominated job and also appeal to the government to help the women.
What I'm advising is, thanks God that the National Assembly member is here. Somebody has mentioned that, do we normally provide any protective measures for them when they are doing this work? And then the answer is maybe no. But I think the National Assembly will take care of that, because when we do the screening and then treat them, at the end of the day, we throw them again in this work. The same thing may happen again.
Aida Sanyang, a beneficiary who works at the quarry, highlights the challenges they face and the medication she received.
We carry boulders of rocks with our heads and we then break them into pieces. We sheave it using spades. All this is done with the help of the eyes. Today, I got some medication and spectacles for protecting my eyes because I work in a dusty environment. I am grateful to the donors.
Imam Buhari Center for Islamic Studies, in partnership with Guimam Eye Care Association, offered free eye screening to the women miners because not only they are vulnerable, but the nature of their work involves digging and breaking stones in a dusty environment, which could sometimes cause eye injuries and other related health problems. Babakar Sise, QTV News.
Welcome back from that short video where you've seen that collaboration between Guimam Eye Care Association as well as the Imam Buhari Center. And like I mentioned, we are joined by Babunjai from the Imam Buhari Center. So first of all, just to lay the foundation, update us in relation to how this partnership came about and the entire process of just reaching out to these women and providing free eye care services to them.
Thank you very much, Jainaba. Good morning, viewers. I just want to, for you to allow me to give you a rundown of Imam Buhari Foundation initiative. Okay. Imam Buhari is a foundation which is initiated on the 12th of April 2017. The idea came around 2014. By then, the president, Mohamed Ibrahim Sise, was in Spain, okay. And then they have the idea. So when they have the idea, they said they want to come back to the Gambia and then initiate it in the Gambia so that the people of the Gambia will be able to benefit from the foundation. So the whole idea started in 2017. 2017, that's where we have our ground in Lamin, that is the headquarters. So when we have the headquarters, the first thing we did was to build a mosque, which cost almost $3 million. The mosque is ready. Now we are waiting for a day to open the mosque. Then from there, the association started, or the foundation kick off. So the idea of the foundation is to assist people who are definitely in need of certain things in life. Like when we came and then we have our executive, we said we have to go around the country and see the difficulties that people are encountering in the Gambia, so that we can list them down and then see how best we can help people on those areas. Okay. So when we did that, we realized that life cannot go without water, and water is very essential. And most Gambians are crying for water, especially even in the urban area here, in Banjul here, people are crying for water, much more in the provinces. Okay. So when we went to the provinces, we learned that some people use wells that are very deep, and the water they pull out from these wells. You will not be able to imagine that a human being will consume this type of
amazing water. So Mr. Njai, now just update us in relation to the free eye care services that were provided due to time constraints. I know we will have you back here, yes, just talk about the general performance of this particular center, but for today, just take us through the process of having to provide free eye care for the Association of Gambian Women in Mining.
Yes, all that came through our consultation with people. When we went around the villages, we realized that some people are having side effects, eye effects, problems. They have eyes, their sights are not, their visions are not clear. They are complaining that they normally go to the hospital and they don't have money to do those things. So through our investigation, we realized that there are a lot of people down there in the villages, they are not seeing. So when we thought, when we have the idea, we said, what can we do now? Why not we go and engage the people who are specialists on this area? That is the time we went to Sheikh Said General Hospital. We all know that that's where people go when they have problems in their eyes. So when we went there, we realized that there is an association also called Guimam Association, headed by one Abdullah Nget. He is the one who initiated that association. When we met him and then his team, we discussed it. We told them that definitely there are people who are suffering. We want to assist them. So that is the time things started. So our first point of protocol was in Mariamakunda. We went with the whole team of doctors to Mariamakunda, which is Imam Buhari financed everything. We went to Mariamakunda, we called the community around that area. They all came, we screened them. Those that they can treat instantly, they treated them. Give them medication and other things, spectacles and other things. Those that are suffering from cataract, they were all referred to Sheikh Said General Hospital. So the same thing was done in Fonyi Block. We went to Fonyi Block, we did the same thing. That's where you see these ladies in the quarry. So when we went there, we learned that there are ladies who are doing this type of work. This mining. So definitely it's very, very amazing. When we went there, you will see a lady inside a hole, digging these stones. Definitely just to get what can sustain them at home without no protection. So when we call them, we even ask them to come out from those holes so that we can screen them and check their eyes. So when we did that, we realized that most of them are suffering from cataract.
Wow.
So that is the time also those people were given a date for them to come to the General Hospital, Said Hospital. So we went also to Bondali, Fonyi Bondali. The same thing was done there.
Amazing.
We even met a woman, an old woman, whose vision is completely closed or damaged. I don't know the term I should use because I'm not a medical personnel. But when we went there, the old woman cannot see anything. So when she was brought, and then they screened her, and then they said that they can do something. So luckily, when we evacuated her from that village, it's a very remote village around Bondale. So we evacuated the old lady and then brought her to the General Hospital. Thank God that today she is going on her. Yes, she's safe.
Yes, Mr. Babu, your good gesture to humanity cannot be overemphasized. Let's talk about your future plans and what are some of the activities you do apart from these. You mentioned at the beginning of the program that you built a mosque, almost 3 million dollars, and you are here offering eye care services to people. So, what are your future plans? What other activities too do you do?
Yes, this is just one component of our program we are doing. Even before this one, we have been doing a lot of things. We have dug more than 50 boreholes across the length and breadth of the country, and all these boreholes, they cost nothing less than $150,000 because we use the solar system, whereby even if current is off, you'll be able to have water. And most of the villages down there, they don't have electricity. So we dig boreholes, we build schools, Arabic schools. We have so far handed over 4 Islamic schools to communities. And all these schools started from, let's say, from grade 1 to grade 6, about 6 classrooms, office, toilets, and everything. Apart from that, also, we normally go around villages, and then, you know, if you want to know people who are suffering, you have to go and meet them where they are.
Grassroots.
So especially during the Ramadan, every day Imam Buhari will take up it as responsibility to make sure that the whole staff will go to the villages and see people who are definitely in need of support. So when we go, we normally go with foodstuff, rice, sugar, oil, and give it to the needy people. We went to Kafuta, Tumbulu. We met one young man with the wife and 3 kids. They were just housed in a very, just these grass houses, like the fullers. These balde, so those are the type of houses. So when we met these people there, definitely it was very it was a very critical situation. So they are young boys, and the lady also is a young lady. But we realized that these people, if they stay here up to the rainy season, it was around April. So Imam Buhari said we have to do something. We spent more than $750,000 to build a good house for this man and his kids.
All right.
So
Mr. Njai, I'm afraid I might have to bring you back to the free eye care service provided for the Association of Gambian Women in Mining. We've seen that these women are affected because of the work that they're doing. So I just want to know if when you went there and saw the condition of these women, are you planning to probably provide an alternative for them, for the old ones to actually go into some other business? Do you have a plan in relation to that? Because, you know, sometimes you might go and support somebody for something specific, but at the end of the day, you might have an idea as to where you want to see these particular individuals. So do you have a plan in relation to that? Because I know it's because of the dust and all the particles. That is why these women are suffering from this. So do you have any plans for them?
Yes, because what we realized, even that day when we were on the ground, some of them, they came to us and then start to complain or start to request for assistance. We give them our numbers. We ask them to come to the head office in Lamin so that we can see how best we can talk to them and then see if it is possible. We try to relocate them to another business rather than leaving them in those conditions. So all those things, they are on the pipeline, and then we are also discussing it with our partners because they have seen it And these people, when they see, especially ladies suffering, it will always be a concern to them. So all those things, they are on the pipeline, and we are seeing some of them. They normally come up to Lamin at the head office, and then even during the Ramadan, we call them to come, and then we give them food stuff and other things. Yes, but that is on the
whereas you people cannot move them from that kind of a labor to another one. Is it going to be a routine thing to be checking on them all the time? Because when you provide eye care for them, at the end of the time, you need to go and monitor and see how they are doing, so that they won't go back to that kind of a situation. Do you have that plan?
Because if you watch the video, I think you heard me discussing it with the National Assembly. Remember that these people, we need to help them, and then we need to have constant monitoring on them. But that answer could have been answered properly by the Imam Association, if I thought that they were here. But I know that is part of the program, the plan, because when we did everything and then we evacuated all of them and then bring them to the hospital, did the operation. After the operation, before they were discharged, they were given some guidelines by these health workers that you need to protect yourself. Don't use this, don't use that. So time to time, I know these people, it's their responsibility now to go and follow them and see whether the same thing is persisting or there is some changes. Because that is all part of the package. Because what we did is, they just asked us, this is the amount you should give us. We give them the whole amount, and we make sure that what is necessary is done for these ladies. Definitely, it is our concern.
Ibrahim, I'm happy about the fact that they are using some sort of a sustainable approach, whereby you support these women and you're looking for somewhere else to put them. Because if they maintain working there, the old ones, at some point, then the help might not be beneficial anymore.
It's just going to be the same thing. I mean,
repeating
it's
itself.
a matter of going back to the same thing.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you are to provide the health care, the eye care for them, at the end of the time, they need to move from that kind of a situation. Although Janaba, it is tense, sometimes it's difficult. It's
hard, but
for some women, and this is the only option they have. So,
this is the only option, unless they're supported.
That's why even that day before we left that area, we were discussing with their president of their association, Mrs. Jalo Sose. She's the president of the women on mining. We have a lengthy discussion with her, and then I know that she is monitoring them, and then we will also continue to collaborate with her so that we can see how best we can relocate these people, because that is our idea. Definitely, we don't want these ladies to be there. It is a male-dominated work, but because of maybe they don't have any other thing to do, because there was a lady, I interviewed her, I said, this is a young lady, and she has gone to school, she has been to school. She said that she don't have anything to do. So that's the only thing she can do.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Njai, for coming. You mentioned it's a male-dominated field, and obviously there are a lot of male-dominated fields, and we have women getting into it, which is not a bad idea that we have women doing it or venturing into male-dominated fields, but let the conditions at least be conducive whereby they have the required gears and all of that. So thank you so much, Mr. Babunjai, for coming. We will monitor the progress in relation to this particular support. So we will take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will head right on to another segment. Do stay tuned.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
Now, with Aji Bank, you can make your vehicle number plate payments without any hassle. Walk into any of our bank branches or agencies located at Banjul, New Joswang, Karaba Avenue, Bakote, Tranquil Brusubi, Brikama, Base, Farafenye, Numuyel or Garawol. Your number plate payments now made easy with Aji Bank. For more information, please call us on 422-8405 or 377-5811. Aji Bank, your investment partner.
Step into the future of television with sleek and slim design Samsung Smart TVs, ranging in size from 32 to 75 inches and in different technology. Smart LED, Crystal UHD, Ultra High Definition, and QLED Quantum Dot LED. Get new ways of interacting with your TV as our TVs offer an unparalleled vision adventure from the comfort of your living room. Ultra viewing angle, powerful picture quality, web browser, gallery, EarthNet LAN, wireless LAN built-in, Bluetooth, screen mirroring technology, mobile on TV mirroring, built-in voice assistance, Wi-Fi direct. Not only that, our TVs are backed with 12 months warranty and we are currently on a promotion. Contact us on 333-3217.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. I am your host, Jenna Bosonko, and joined by my usual co-host, Ibrahim Balde. So we will be heading right on to social issues, and today we'll be talking about a very important topic, you know, something that can affect even someone that you live with, people that you see around you, which is the issue of trying to curb the drug menace. It is a very important topic, and we're joined by a representative from the Drug Law Enforcement Agency to further educate us in relation to the work that they're doing, or who are they collaborating with to make sure that they achieve what they want to achieve. All of those things will be discussed here and even more.
Exactly. So it's important, Jennifer, for us to discuss this, and having, you know, a personnel from that department to come and share his views and also help us know what are some of the steps they are doing. It's important because we've seen a lot of things caused by drugs.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a whole...
our young people, we are losing them due to drugs. And also every day when you watch the news around town, all that you hear is about drugs. You know, people using drugs, and also drugs have been intercepted. So all these things are happening. So it will be a very fruitful discussion, I believe.
Thank you so much for joining us. We've been seeing you do a lot of sensitization programs. So today, I guess we'll be able to have an easy ride. So like Ibrahim mentioned, we've seen that on the news, we've seen a lot of drug-related stories whereby people are intercepted when it comes to drugs. So is it because there's some attention around drugs? It is over-reported, and it used to be under-reported before. That is why it is on the limelight. Or is it because the use of drugs is on the rise? Was it under-reported, or is it on the rise? That's what I want to understand first before we get into the discussion proper.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. I'm very, very happy to be part of this show and to highlight certain important points with regards to matters relating to drug abuse, trafficking, and related matters. First of all, to answer your question, I think it is not underreported. Okay. Let's say it is kind of increasing because looking at our statistics that we have from 2018 to date, if you look at the figures, you'll be amazed to see that actually it is not underreported. The stuff is a bit increasing, although sometimes it increases, sometimes it decreases, depending on so many factors responsible for that. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying that it is not because the attention is given to it, but it's actually increasing. It wasn't underreported. No, it wasn't underreported. Okay, I guess that particular question is answered. So it means that there needs to be extra concentration when it comes to the use of drug, considering the fact that it is rising. And I've been seeing you around doing a lot of sensitization. So what is the problem? Considering the fact that the sensitization is being done across radio stations and communities, why is it that the use of drug and the trafficking is increasing? What is the problem first? Let's understand the problem, and later we get into it. We delve into the issue. Yes. Basically what I can actually say is that, like you said, we've been doing a lot of sensitization because we've discovered, in fact the world at large have discovered that the idea of supply suppression is not working as people anticipated. Like the issue of arresting, prosecuting, and sending them to jail. because the purpose of sending people to jail, the purpose is actually not achieved at the end of the day, especially looking at our part of the world, where when people are sent to jail, they are just kept there like that. At the end of the day, if they are released, most of them will actually go back into drugs. So this is why the world, the people concerned came together, the stakeholders that are involved in the fight against illicit drug trafficking and others came together to come up with an idea called drug demand reduction. Okay. In fact, at the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, we have a whole directorate responsible for drug demand reduction activities. The issue of drug demand reduction is taking two fronts. Like we talk about the prevention, and we talk about the treatment component. Now, when looking at the prevention component, that is where desensitization issues comes up. Okay. Because we've realized that a lot of drug pushers or drug peddlers target our young people. So our first target also is the schools. Okay. We target the schools, where we went up to the extent of establishing drug-free clubs in schools. And these drug-free clubs in these schools, they are to help in their communities to spread messages about drugs so that people will have a better understanding of drugs. Because we believe a lot of young people are getting into drugs not knowing the negativities and other stuff, the negative effect of drug abuse and related matters. Okay. So it's like they don't know. But we believe once we started get capacitating them with regards to that, that will actually help to reduce the number of people involved in it.
But there's something important that he talked about, Ibrahim. He talks about the fact that some of these young people, they're captured and the next day they're out. So what can we do?
Not the next day they're out. But like you arrest them.
It's just an exaggeration.
Take them to court.
For a while.
Take them to court, for example. Take them to court. They are sentenced. Now, at the end of the after serving their sentence, when they are released back to society, some of them get involved in the drug activity.
What are you doing in relation to that? What are you doing to make sure that when these people come out, they are better people? Is there some sort of rehabilitation process that is put in place to actually cancel these people so that when they come out, they are better people? What can we do in relation to that?
We are not the only players in that area.
Okay.
And we have our limitations. What we can do is to arrest, take them to court to prosecute them. After prosecution, the decision that is taken by the court, whether it favors us or not, we have to abide by that. And when they are taken to prison, that's another area where we don't have any mandate to get involved in what is being done at the prisons. So with regards to the rehabilitation issue that you were talking about, there's a component under the drug demand reduction strategy, like looking at the treatment component. Like I said, you have the prevention component and the treatment component. So looking at the treatment component, that idea of having a rehabilitation center is on. Okay. In fact, Drug Law Enforcement Agency have already secured a piece of land, and then it's because of COVID that we could not start construction on the site. But I'm sure with time, we will do that so that we have a treatment center for people who are actually addicts. Because addiction is itself a disease, all right? So when somebody is addicted to drugs, the guy needs treatment, and that treatment can only be provided at a treatment facility.
Okay. Let's talk about your approach of sensitizing schools, maybe going to schools, organizing meetings, telling young people the dangers of taking these drugs. I don't think that approach is working. Because the number of people, young people using drugs, is increasing in this country. Don't you think you need another approach?
No, you cannot say it's not working.
It's not. I mean,
no, I beg to disagree.
No, it's not working.
No, I disagree.
Why do you disagree then? Can you give us proof?
Well, my reason for disagreeing, like you said, the number is increasing. Now, looking at what kind of from what angle are you saying that the
when
number
you look at
reports, is not working?
When you look at reports on TV, on radio, even in the streets, you see people using drugs. You see gangs. You see people using drugs. I mean, even sometimes it is alleged that people take drugs and come and steal, fight people, take things by force. Well, so when you look at all those things, you will know it is not going down. It is increasing.
Let me tell you one thing, Balde. Now, the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, we are not using one-way approach to fight drugs in this country. Like I said, we are using two approaches. The issue of the supply suppression, that is the arresting and the interdiction process at the courts, that's ongoing. We are not stopping that. In fact, currently, there are about several security teams that are patrolling the town 24 hours around the clock. We have the anti-crime unit patrolling, you have the PIU patrolling, you have the Drug Law Enforcement Agency patrolling, and you have a joint security also patrolling. And at the same time, our sensitization programs are also ongoing. Television stations, weekly radio stations, radio programs. In fact, every week, we have 5 radio programs within the Greater Banjul area and some parts in West Coast region, like Gunjur, Kuloro, Star FM, Alfala.
Okay.
You know.
Yes,
Ibrahim,
I will do no justice. I just want him to clarify something.
Yeah.
In March last year, published by Punch newspaper, 2 members of the drug law enforcement agencies are found to be using cannabis and opium. What's happening to that case?
Opium?
Yes.
Okay, well, I think that's news to me. But one thing I can assure you, I can tell you clearly what I am aware of. Now, there was a drug test conducted on officers of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, starting with the Director General down to the last person. Now, when the first test was done, few officers were tested positive. They were found positive. That means they were using one type of drug or the other. So they were sent on leave, 2 months leave without salary. After the 2 months, and after their 2 months leave salary expired, 2 months without salary expired, they came back. And this time when they came back, they have to pay for the testing, for them to be retested again. And when the second test was done, 5 people tested positive again. And these 5 people were sent on indefinite leave. And there were a few instances in which officers that are involved in drug-related matters are actually sent home. And there are other instances in which some officers were even prosecuted, because no officer is above the law. You know, so being an officer does not give you a license to, you know, abuse drugs or to be involved in drug-related matters. We don't take that lightly. If any officer is found wanting, you are dealt with according to the law.
Okay, so anyway, Ibrahim, you talked about the fact that probably their sensitization is not working, but I'm a very big fan of grassroots sensitization, which they're doing when it comes to the children. Probably sensitizing the children, the impact might not be seen now, but maybe it might be seen later as these people grow, and then the narrative might change. So you would just bear with us, because currently we have Aliou Cissé at the National Assembly. We are all aware that a National Assembly member passed away recently, and we just want to take a look at what is happening at the National Assembly currently. And Aliou Cissé is there, and he will update us in relation to this very, very sad news there and what other National Assembly members think about it. Looking at social media, I've came to realize that this particular National Assembly member was very kind, very dedicated, very passionate. Those are some of the testimonies that I've seen online. So Aliou Cissé, are you there? Aliou Cissé?
Claire, thank you very much, Geneva and Bande. We are live here at the National Assembly in Banjul, where a very sad day for the National Assembly as parliamentarians have returned. Geneva, I can hear you loud and clear. Like I said, we're here at the National Assembly in Banjul, where deputies have returned from their recess to mourn the death of one of their colleagues, Fakeba Koli, National Assembly member for Kiang, who passed away on the of the United Democratic Party, and he has been very influential as far as this National Assembly is concerned. He was a member of the Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs and also a member of the Select Committee on Education, ICT and Training, and his demise today is seen as a big loss for the country. As we speak right now, family members, relatives, supporters of the United Democratic Party, National Assembly members are all here in the chamber awaiting the arrival of the body of Fakeba Koli, who, like I said, is seen as somebody who was very kind, very humble, and very interactive, and he has been really very concerned about development of this country. You remember in 2016, he was among the people who were arrested by the former government for going out to demand for electoral reforms, and then since then we understand Koli has not been feeling well. I mean, he's 61 years old before his death, and like we said, he's the second MP to have died under the current government. And then we'll just try to speak to some of the MPs who are here, who have already seated here in the National Assembly, and then I have the pleasure of speaking to Honorable Sana Jawara, who's, of course,
Right now, I'm out of words for it, to be honest with you. Fakeba is an exemplary gentleman, a patriotic citizen, somebody who has contributed quite immensely to the change that we are enjoying today. That's all I have for now.
I know he must have lived a very...
Aliou Cissé there at the National Assembly, and we apologize for the fact that you cannot hear what Aliou is saying and his activities there, but we will try to fix that and bring you updates at the National Assembly. Like I said, the testimonies that I saw online are quite clear that he was quite passionate, very determined individual, you know, so we just hope that he will rest in perfect peace. That's what we are praying for.
It's quite sad for us to be in this situation, because he is a man who represented his constituency. And of course, it's important for him to be given such a befitting burial, and for National Assembly members to pay their last respect to a colleague. You know, so I think Aliou is back.
Yeah,
we can go back to the National.
Aliou, can you hear us?
To the country as a whole. I remember him as a mentor in terms of the way we do our work, and even our relationship with people. He offers us advice, so we really miss him. It's a great loss. My heart is certainly heavy. I don't think I'll be able to continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kamara. Like I said, Honorable Kamara was is a close friend to Honorable Kali, who passed away, and then quite very emotional moment here at the National Assembly in Banjul. I mean, I guess we will just try to speak to the National Assembly member for Serekunda, Doyen, member of the Parliament, Honorable Halifa Sallah. Honorable, you are live on QTV. We would just like you to share with us your views about the death of Honorable Kali. If you can just stand for the sake of the camera. Thank you.
I'm going to be giving it.
Okay. Okay, Honorable is saying, you know, according to the agenda, he is going to give a statement, so he wouldn't like to preempt what exactly he is going to say as far as Honorable Kali is concerned. But we're still in the Parliament, and then we have Honorable Yakumba Jaite, a nominated member. Honorable, you have lost one of your colleagues, Honorable Fakeba.
Fakeba was a very humble person. He gave his life for country, and he has never asked for anything for it. We've lost a great man, we've lost a hero, and all we can do is pray for him so that Almighty Allah can grant him the highest of Jannah, and then pray for the family he has left behind so Allah can protect them and give them the heart to handle this grief. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. That's nominated member Yakumba Jaite, also a member of the United Democratic Party, where Fabak Ali Kali had belonged before his death. We also have another member here, Majanko Samusa. Honorable, a quite sad day for the National Assembly today. How do you feel losing one of your colleagues in the name of Fakeba Kali?
Oh, today it's a great day. It's a day that's also part of the history. It's another event today because this is a member who I'm very close to him, I'm very friendly with him. As you know, between the Kiankas and Badbunkas, I feel very lonely today because whenever, every day before we start the session, I have to go and, you know, play with him for some time and then come back very close to me, and I like him. He's a very dedicated person. He's harmless. He's harmless. And he has been he suffered a lot in the struggle, together with myself, definitely. It's a very sincere person.
Indeed, a quite harmless person, Honorable Fakeba Koli. For anyone who comes to the parliament like us who cover the National Assembly proceedings, we can attest to the fact of his humility, his composure as a National Assembly member. He was this soft-spoken guy. We also have this pleasure of speaking to the Honorable Member for Fonyi Councillor Musa Amol Nyasi. Honorable, you are live on QTV. How do you feel the losing Honorable Fakeba Koli?
Thank you very much, Aliu. Let me begin by saying Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It's a really it's a sad day. It's a sad moment for the entire National Assembly of the Gambia and for the Gambia as a whole. Knowing Honorable Fakeba Enel Koli, interestingly enough, I never knew that Honorable Fakeba Koli is a close relative of mine, in the sense that my late wife, Honorable Fakeba, is a biological uncle to my late wife. I got to know this when we met at the National Assembly here, and since then the bond have been growing from strength to strength. Hardly he addresses me by name. We call each other in-law. And that aside, Honorable Fakeba Enel Koli, I think, have done his ability, have done his best to represent his people to the best of his ability. I'm a principal witness to when he will raise parliamentary questions that are directed towards issues concerning the people he represents. Not that alone, Honorable Fakeba Enel Koli have been one of those who have been dictated by consent. He has always been speaking his mind, regardless of what. It's a big loss to the nation, knowing what he stood for and knowing who he is and knowing the interest that he has for the nation. It's a big loss, and we will keep remembering him in our dua, him and all the departed souls. It's a big loss, and we really miss him dearly.
Thank you so much, Honorable Nyasi. That is Musa Amol Nyasi, National Assembly member for Fonyi Councillor, also trying to share his thoughts about someone he called a friend, someone who was very passionate about the development of Kiang West, where he represents here at the National Assembly. I mean, we also have the majority leader, Honorable Keba Baro, who has arrived to pay his last respect to someone. I know he must have interacted well here at the Parliament. Honorable, how is the feeling like today?
Alhamdulillah, we thank God, and then we are here to pay our last respect to our colleague and a friend who had worked with us for the last 25 years.
It seems Honorable is such an emotional person. He's struggling to hold himself together to share someone who was very close to him. I mean, we have another woman here. We will just try to, I think it's the wife. Yeah, I mean, the wife is here. We'll just try to get was here. Assalamu alaikum, Mbama Samandabi.
Alaikum salam. Samandabi jandara.
Todema.
Lisa Jam.
Bi filenti ikema banta Honorable Fakeba Koli. Ibari mabela nyadile.
Foko ala tentude ka ala jayi ka ndabe jayi. Fakeba nke malem nke mi yalon kabrin futo tay. Mammolo na man katiti. Ati fana mammolo na man kentete futo kono. So fa ala yake bi futuo baka bandi mala so ngalan ko insayante mo tanyin kala no ala dorna senyun no moto kam ba fa alhamdulillah rabbil alamin bayde ala en natu nyobulu birim be dindin na baka problème so futuo baka problème bay bari fakka man te batandi amala dimba batandi ay mutaka fam ay mutaka duko adimol fana e be muta amam mo moto adimol be la kanyande adimol kanu fakwa misil mo la ka sunna ka salim misil hakannem edum adan keniyata misil me yata fana bar komen ko ala jata ken yalla man wala fta batande le bar han wonyanya ala misil me ya ayo mutale edum mo la mi yalla ka wasata ya foku molong fatwa bu kam mubarandi foku mola dal yeta fele ko biya fele nata soko no fanga nyakko yaade ngoje yeto fala ina da jett motuma anya diade ngodoram oto kambi fo bi kadara lu labangde ambe man satalla tantu lamba jeyila me duwala fo ala saso arjana kallan kewla ala fondin ke yabata jata kende abal ya kon be dwala mari mastala ya falingai arjana kallan kewala ana ngane sene na la waso be dwala fo ala se yan fay man satalla ya bula bine be kafar jongol kono man satalla ya bula al jannatul firdaus man satalla hinala kila nyima be nyu ya sallallahu alaihi wasallam ay la jang damat fa ala sa sonya ay man satalla kabro sumaya kan ay banko sumaya kan bana nyima tara nga nyima tara la kala lol kan namal ndi nyoy na duwa ba entilo
baraka baga ito di ma ko
lisa jamme ade.
Well, I know we are supposed to go back to the studio, but we will be glad if you could just grant us just 1 minute to have a few words from the leader of the United Democratic Party, who has also arrived here in the chamber. Just a minute, under 1 minute, just for hear his views as the leader of the UDP. Honorable Dabo, Assalamu alaikum. You are live on QTV. A sad day for the Gambia, a sad day for you as a person, of course a sad day for the United Democratic Party. How will you remember Honorable Fakeba Koli?
Well, Honorable Fakeba Koli will be remembered in several ways. He was a very decent person. He was a man loyal to his conscience and loyal to the Republic of the Gambia. He served the United Democratic Party with distinction. He was the pioneer member of the UDP youth wing, and he served in many capacities in the United Democratic Party. He lived a life of humility, of honesty, and of commitment and sincerity. His kind is difficult to come by.
So much, like I said, quite a difficult day here at the National Assembly. That was the leader of the United Democratic Party, Honorable Usainu Dabo, who had also come to pay his last respect to someone he sees as a brother, as a friend.
What is happening at the National Assembly, we just pray that his soul rests in perfect peace. Like I mentioned, we've heard from everyone there, including the leader of the United Democratic Party, that he's a very passionate and dedicated individual. The wife has also given us a clear picture of who this particular National Assembly member was.
It's important as a human being.
Yeah.
You look at the way you live.
It's important.
Within your circle, the people that you live with, the people that you work with.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow, these are the people that will represent you. These are the people that will talk on your behalf. So we have seen a clear manifestation of what
that. And most of the time, what we are advised, it seems that's what we've seen here, because he's relationships with people are actually coming out now when it comes to
So normally you will not realize it, but until when you are gone, that is the time all these comments will come
out.
Whatever you do or say, at the end of the time it might come back to you. So it's important for you to live positive and represent your people, because this guy, it was a huge responsibility on his soldier, representing people.
Whole constituency.
It's not that easy.
And also Honorable Majanko Samusa just said that this is a harmless. That word to me is everything. The fact that he said this is a harmless individual, that is very important. And the fact that also under the United Democratic Party, he's a pioneer of the youth wing.
Exactly.
It's very important.
He's
done a lot. So right now, we'll just go back to our conversation with Mr. Jabata in relation to drug. I can remember before we went to the National Assembly member live there, you asked him a question in relation to drug law enforcement officers also being found wanting when it comes to the use of drugs. So can you just take us through that again?
Like I said earlier on, the law is there for everybody, and being a drug law enforcement agency officer does not give you a license to be involved in drug-related activities. Any officer who is found wanting will equally be dealt with according to the law.
All right. Mr. Jabata, it is, the boys around, or the people who just, they talk the campaign. Yeah. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. They also talk about the fact that the way drug law enforcement agents actually approach them is bad. Okay. Sometimes the approach is very bad. Sometimes minute na sa nyunko def wala nyunko ame. but they just approach us in a very bad way, which could also bring about violence at some point. What do you say in relation to that?
One thing people should understand, like if you are after drugs, you're looking for an evidence.
Okay.
Because whenever you made an arrest, you should be able to present an evidence to be able to prosecute the guy properly. Now, you cannot just come and arrest somebody and accuse him of being in possession of drugs when you don't find any drug with him. And if you don't rust, they don't use that rough approach to approach these people in the ghettos, they might conceal the drugs. Some can even destroy it. We've seen instances people will even swallow it. People will chew it and swallow it. So in that case, you don't have any evidence, even though they have it, but you don't see it. So therefore, when you're approaching them, you have to be very rough, so that you take them by surprise.
Is it not a human right violation as well to approach somebody, for instance, and the person is not in possession? And then you just rush the individual just like that, if that is the way you do it.
Because
these are
very instances whereby, you know, I sit in a campe and people will tell me these people are smokers. So if drug law enforcement agencies meet you here, they will take you. You know, although I don't smoke, but I have friends sometimes that smoke. You understand? So what about if they meet me sitting with them? Because it is also fair for me to interact with my friends. So sitting with them, doing our attire, but without smoking. If they meet you there, they'll carry you.
Let me tell you one thing. This is the law. If you are found at the wrong place at the wrong time, you will be arrested. Now, the law is saying, even if you frequent a place that is used for smoking. Now, for example, when this studio has been designated as, has been known as a place where people gather here to smoke. If you are found sitting here, even if you don't smoke, once, twice, you could be arrested for frequenting a place used for smoking, and you could be charged. It's in the Drug Control Act. So if you don't smoke, the advice that we give people, if you don't smoke, don't sit with them. As simple as that.
So according to the Act also, it says that you have to rush people anyhow.
No, like
without even having clear evidence that they're not in possession.
The law says, the law says,
physical
upon reasonable suspicion, you can approach an individual.
But how to approach the individual? You're talking about the fact that you have to rush them because they might swallow it.
It depends. Sometimes you have to do that.
Okay, what if they're not in possession? What next?
If they're not in possession, you leave them, you
release
away.
Okay, after violating their
right.
But because of your approach,
just to jump on somebody to get them, to conduct a search on them, does not mean you violate their right.
But then, Mr. Jobate, investigations have to be done right then.
You know, Mr. Jobate, we are trying to clarify this because this is happening in our society. We are not here to say what you are doing is not right. It's wrong. We are not saying that. But we are just trying to bring a cordial relationship. We want to understanding.
No, people might not understand what we also go through as officers of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Now, this is a job that, you know, sometimes it depends on the situation. Some situations you need to come gentle, but in certain situations you need to come rough, depending on the situation. Now, we all know this is no secret. In most of these ghettos that you see in town, you call campers, people abuse drugs. Sometimes people will even, an individual will even be there with selling drugs in the midst of people there. So in such a situation, if you come, you know, you have to be tactful in your approach. Otherwise, you will lose your target.
So what about now? I mean, if I am apprehended and taken to the police, beaten, sometimes they will beat you, they'll abuse you. So when you are taken to the police and realize, oh, Balde doesn't smoke, he's not in the possession of any drug. So after that, what will happen? Are you going to compensate me, or are you going to apologize?
It's a tricky one.
Depending on the situation. Now, let me clear this point. Now, if you are found at a place, sometimes what brings about this fight is because people don't comply with arresting orders. And the law is saying you can use a reasonable force to get somebody arrested. So if I want to arrest you, you want to resist arrest, I will use minimum force to get you arrested.
But do they identify themselves? Because that is also a complaint, that sometimes these officers do not identify themselves to say, no, this is me.
Like when 10 of us, even if 10 of us are in the operation, if one person should identify himself with using his warrant card, says, I am Jobate Lamin, you know, an officer of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency with my team, we want to conduct a search on you. You should comply.
I don't mind.
At the end of the day, let me come.
Do these officers always identify
Of course
themselves?
it happens. It happens. If you have any problem in there, you could easily always walk to the head office of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency and said, Lamin K. Jobate came to our campaign on this particular day and at this time, conduct a search with his people, and this is what happens. We have a professional complaints and disciplinary unit that will investigate your that will take your complaint, take a statement from you, investigate, and then, you know, investigate. If Jobate is found wanting, he will be punished.
Mr. Jobate, we did not.
How often
we are not denying the fact that you people are doing a good job. We want it to be more professional. We want it to go according to the law. You understand? And all we want is to scope this menace, to remove, at least to reduce the trend it is taking in this country. You understand? But I think it should be very professional. I've seen at instances whereby people accuse drug law enforcement agencies of taking their drugs at the end of the time, smoking them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You know, what we used to tell the general public is that if you, Balde, for example, I arrested you for being in possession of drugs. Now, if I don't take you to the station to get that book in the station diary, you have all right to report me to my senior officer that Jobate collected drugs from me and he has not reported it to the station.
Okay, what about if Jobate collect that drug from this guy and Jobate told the guy, okay, now let us kill this case here. I'll take the drug and kill the case.
You should refuse.
If you report it, you know, you might be in hot water.
You should refuse that.
Mr. Jobate, it is complicated.
No, it's
this
not complicated.
Drug thing,
Drug
matter is complicated.
My drug is my drug. I use my money to buy my drug and have it with me. Now, you as an officer, you want to take it from me. You are taking it because the law gives you that power to do that. Now, you cannot just take that from me and, you know, you go and use it for the wrong purpose. When you take it from me, let's go through the right channel, take me to the station, charge me, and whatever, you know, I should be ready to face it.
Anyway, it's a two-way thing when it comes to solving this problem, because the public is also saying that the Drug Law Enforcement Agency is not doing their operations accordingly, and you also have a role to play in relation to what the young people are doing, because majority of the people who use drugs are young people. So due to time constraints, quickly, what other plans are put in place in relation to curbing the use of drugs? As you mentioned, it is on the rise.
Well, as of now, we are using these two fronts, the supply suppression and the drug demand reduction strategy to curb the menace of drug abuse in our society. But like you said, so the society itself are not complementing the efforts of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency. There are certain areas in this within the Greater Banjul area. If Drug Law Enforcement personnel enter those communities to effect arrest of people involved in drug abuse, they face stiff resistance from the community themselves. So are they complementing our efforts? We are not doing this to enrich ourselves or to do whatever, but we are doing it for the sake of our country, to save the young people of this country. And but if the communities fail to understand that, they see Drug Law Enforcement Agency as enemies, then it will go a long way.
And also, Mr. Jobate, before you leave, how far with Banta's case?
Well,
update us in relation to that.
With regards to Banta's case,
yes.
There was an investigation conducted, and the Director of Intelligence, who headed that investigations, have spoken with regards to that. And the Minister of Interior, because you know Drug Law Enforcement Agency is a security outfit under the Ministry of Interior. The Minister also spoke to the National Assembly about that issue. So since those two people have spoken about it, we are not under any obligation anymore to say anything about that. I think we have to go by what the Minister and the Minister have just said with regards to that.
Mr. Jobate, thank you.
You're welcome.
We appreciate your coming. We understand that you are helping, you are fighting. But it is important for you people to come on this platform because we are the people that put you there. You understand? We said you should work and help us fight this drug cases in this country. So it's important for you to come and sit and address and also tell the nation what are you facing. You know, especially you just mentioned some communities are there, sometimes they are reluctant to release some of these people using drugs or hide them. So it's important for you to come on this platform and tell them you are not enemies. You understand, for them to understand. So we appreciate it. We know you people, your job is not easy. Because whenever you see a drug squad or a drug enforcement agent, you think it's a lion. So
but probably the approach should be looked at as well. So like I mentioned, Mr. Jobate, it's a two-way thing. It's a community that also needs to work on how they use drugs or understand the effects, and also the Drug Law Enforcement Agency acting as well accordingly. To be able to solve this problem, it has to be a two-way thing. Because if the Drug Law Enforcement Agency is not also working accordingly, the public will retaliate.
No, we are working within the confines of the law.
Well, there are things alleged, and it's not left to us to decide if the agency is doing it or not. We can't tell.
I know time is against us, but also the way that might not be your area. Maybe when it comes to the rulings for those people that are been
taken to court.
Yes, taken to court. Sometimes it's difficult. I've seen a case whereby this guy have been, in remand for more than 5 years. You understand, on drug cases. Then later he was released. So don't you think those are things that should be fastened? Those are things that you should be following up to make sure these people, they don't spend the time. If they are not guilty, let them release them early. There's a guy that spent 5 years in remand.
Like I said, that's not within our domain.
Yeah, seems it's not under their jurisdiction to actually determine that.
To say anything with regards to that.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much, Mr. Jabata, for coming. We really appreciate it. So viewers, we will take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will take a look at the sports update. Like I mentioned earlier, we will be joined by Babukar C with Gina Bass and Ibrahima Kamara. Do stay tuned.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow. To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Mobile money service in the Gambia has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
One nation, 8 tribes. We are the smiling coast of Africa. Gap-toothed, wide smile, rich melanin skin, radiant with the colors of a rich tapestry of cultures, telling one story of unity and beauty. Wrapped in the soft folds of a mother's sir, a Khalifa's grandbuba, we embody the past of our ancestors and the promise of our descendants. Follow the records of our history, this story that tells of a people watered by the river in the gleaming sun of a coastal nation. Listen to the folk tales, those old tales we grew up on. Lebon, Lupain, Amon Nafi, Danaam. Hear the music of an entire nation in the language of its heart and mother tongue. Our tongues are heavy with the song of our people. Rich and thick it rolls off like domoda, soft like yasa, bena chinla, nyokomom. Feel the beat of our pounding feet as we dance to the sounds of a throbbing drum, ageless in its rhythm. The griot's kora that speaks the wisdom of the ages. The sweet sound of a mother's lullaby bringing even sweeter sleep. We clap a melody with young and old hands, a symphony full of the pleasures of life, the joys of work and home. We are Gambian. Be sunyu chosanla, sunyu dika, sunyu boss.
Step into the future of television with sleek and slim design Samsung Smart TVs, ranging in size from 32 to 75 inches and in different technology. Smart LED, Crystal UHD, Ultra High Definition, and QLED Quantum Dot LED. Get new ways of interacting with your TV as our TVs offer an unparalleled vision adventure from the comfort of your living room. Ultra viewing angle, powerful picture quality, web browser, gallery, EarthNet LAN, wireless LAN built-in, Bluetooth, screen mirroring technology, mobile on TV mirroring, built-in voice assistance, Wi-Fi direct, Not only that, our TVs are backed with 12 months warranty and we are currently on a promotion. Contact us on 333-3217.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
To build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
With ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, viewers, from that short break. Thank you so much to Mr. Jobata for joining us. I guess it turned into a debate, but it's important that sometimes we disagree to agree, so that we will allow our viewers out there to make informed choices, because it's not left to us. We're just here to ask the questions and put the information in front of you.
Exactly.
So we're going on to our sports update, and we're joined by our very own Babukar Sisi. And thank you so much for joining us. So I will allow you to introduce your guest to us.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Well, you've been introducing them since the beginning of the show. So
but I'll give you the honor to do it this time.
It's good to be on this platform for the first time. Thank you, Jennifer.
This is your first time.
Welcome
to
the morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. You know, as you rightly mentioned at the beginning of the program, we have special guests in the studio this morning to join us and share their experience with us. They are no other than, you know, I mean, they're the national anthem right now in the country, Gina Baz and Ibrahim Kamara. And I want to make this so exciting. You know, I want to make this, you know, everybody's home today. It's a public holiday, you know what I mean? So everybody's watching right now. You know, I want to make this as interactive as possible.
Looking forward
Gina
to that.
And Ibrahima, Marina Dalal, QTV, Benen Yon, this morning. And then Gambia, yep, gis nañ seen jaloore, gis nañ loo leen def Tokyo. And let me start with you. I want to be gender biased. Gina, naka la woon experience bi dem Tokyo. It's not your first Olympics. Ndax looloon séentu am nga ko?
Well, I was wanting to be in the final, but stopped in the semi-finals. So it's a great movement for me, because the first year I was in the first round only.
Yeah, which was in Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you made it up to the semi-finals. And how did you prepare going to the Olympics in Tokyo?
Yeah, this year the preparation was better than the 2016. So it's a great honor to be in the Tokyo Games. Yeah, that is my experience again, because first experience was my first race in Olympics, so it was not easy with me. So the second one, I tried my best to reach in the semi-finals. So it's a great.
And what do you think is the reason behind you not making it in the finals? Because you said your target was to reach the finals. What do you think really contributed to your stopping at the semi-finals?
Well, everything in sports have steps. Step by step, you have to go by steps to reach where. Because if you see the people that have reached in the final, they have started long time ago. So I cannot just come and jump. I have to go gradually.
Okay, and going by gradually, in Rio you were in the first round, you know, in Tokyo you were in the semi-finals. Come France 2024, can I predict that Gina will be in the finals?
By the grace.
Yeah. Ibrahima, this is your first experience, you know, to be in the Olympics, representing Gambia at the highest. I mean, the Olympics can be equivalent to the World Cup, because that's the highest of athletics. How was the experience like?
Thank you so much. It was a great experience, as I told you.
because you have to meet the top athletes in the world. So being there, it takes so many things. We see athletes that they were expecting even to have gold medal. They don't even reach at the semi-final. Some of them stop at the semi-final. So it was an experience that there are some competition you will go and think that yes, I will win, and then you will not win. So for me being there, as I told you before, my expectation and the preparation I was doing is just to be in the semi-final. Anything come beyond that, I will take it as a good fit. But stopping in the quarter-final, also in the first round, I just have to continue and say that yes, this is where I stop, and I should look at Gina. She was there before me. She stopped there, and the following Olympic, she is in the semi-final. So I still have that, gives me motivation that my second chance, I can do better than that.
Okay. What will be the preparation now? I mean, Olympics is every 4 years, but with this delayed Olympic, we are just left with 3 more years before France 24. How do you think you should prepare yourself, if you want to reach the semi-finals or beyond that?
Yeah, as athletics have this, as Gina says, step by step. So from the Olympic, you have to prepare for another Olympic. And next year, we have so many competitions that's supposed to take this year, and then they postpone it to next year. So you have to start our preparation very early so that we can reach our goal. So from every year, you have to say that, yes, because in sprint, to break 1 megaseconds, it can even take you a year. So next year, we have African Championship, Commonwealth Game, Islamic Game. So during those big competitions, you can break your records, and then your performance, if you have a good preparation. So we are saying 3 years, but the preparation is 2 years, because the final year is just to go there. You have to make your standard to be there. So it's like you have 2 years to prepare for the France 23.
Talking of 2 years, the Olympic has just ended, and within these 2 years, there are a lot of competitions. As you rightly mentioned, next year we will have the Islamic Games, we'll have the African Games, the Commonwealth, you name it. Gina, you are the African champion when it comes to the 200 meters. In the Islamic Games, you won gold. What should we expect from Gina come 2022 on these games?
Yeah, I have to work harder to make my title again, because being a champion, people are coming towards you. So you have to work harder so that you will continue to be a champion. And
I would say, you have defeated some big guns as far as African athletics is concerned, notably Talu. You'll be meeting her again very shortly. We saw what happened in the 100 meters. You were together in Dakar at the camp. She later left you in the camp, and you met again. She defeated you. What do you think, should be the preparation like going for further competitions? You still want to remain in Dakar? Because many Gambians were saying it's high time that Gina and Ibrahim are moved to higher performing centers, maybe in the Americas or in the Europes, and bring in others to replace you. You agree with that?
Yeah, it's everybody's dream, because everything is step by step, like what I just said now. Everybody's dream, if you are going in whatever you are doing, you have to improve to go forward. So it's our honor to be moved from Dakar to go to another place, so that to have another experience too.
Ibrahima, you think it's a good idea to move you out from Dakar and then bring in others to replace you, because they are saying now you have gone past that level?
Yeah, of course, because even through you journalists, we can say that you are working towards that, because anybody that you are able to tell you, now it's time for these people to move from here, because we have in there participating in their league. From there, we have a chance to be in the center. So we have Gina having there, I can say, almost 6 years in the center. So for me, I do 3 years there. But we see the difference, and then now this is what we want for the government and private sector to support our NOCs, so that we can move from Senegal to another center.
Okay. All right, thank you. I think that is all we have time for, because if you take a look, I think we have a minute to allow you to wrap up. So, Babuka, you can wrap up with your guest.
Okay. What message will you have for Gambians? Well, I know now you'll not accept to be called the poor Olympian without a car. The president gave you. The president gave you a car.
In fact, I wanted to ask.
Okay, ask that question, please.
Not the poor Olympian, but what do they have what message do they have to share with Gambians? Because when Gina and Kamara were in Tokyo, you know, Gambians were behind, supporting, sending messages. We have seen people status Gina Bass, Ibrahim Kamara. So what do you have for Gambians? We were behind here supporting.
Yes, just quickly, due to time constraints.
Well, we are going to use the opportunity to thank each and everyone out there because being supportive is not easy. So some people have quarrels, some people fight. So we are going to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of you guys and the diasporas that are out there. So thank you and bravo to everyone.
Yes, as Gina said, I will say the same, really, because we know that the time different, and some of them will not even sleep. They will just wait for time to see when we run after them. They will go bed again. And some of them definitely. So we really use this opportunity to thank everybody that was supporting us, and then the welcoming was wonderful. Thank you, Nani, for that job with our departments. They also welcome us, and then they do their best. So we are going to take this opportunity to thank them very well. Being here, diaspora, so friends, and those who are not even friends, but they are Gambians. So we are telling them thank you so much for taking their time.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim Kamara. Thank you, Gina Bass, and wishing you all the best in the upcoming competitions. And see you in France with the perfect timing or qualification to be in France, Paris 2024.
Babukar, I just hope we had more time to engage them more. But due to time constraints, I'm afraid we might just have to wrap it up here. So Ibrahim, just to remind the public that they can join this program, sponsor this program. We can display your items here. So it's very cheap. Just call the marketing team and get to negotiate with them.
Absolutely.
And also don't forget to connect with us on our different social media platforms to stay connected with what QTV has to offer. Till we come your way tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.